Now, it's thought the number of cases of food poisoning has more than doubled in the last decade. A report has found that almost 2.5 million are now recorded every year. The Food Standards Agency says almost 2/3 of cases are linked to eating out or takeaway meals. Well, I'm joined now by Nicole Barbarian-Alabaster. She's a dietitian and nutritionist. Thank you very much for coming in. Of course, it's Friday, isn't it? Lots of people looking ahead to the weekend. They'll either be eating out or having a takeaway. What can we learn from this? It comes with risks, doesn't it?
Well, it was interesting for me to read because I read the numbers with shock, just like anyone else did. When I looked through the details, I found that actually it's to do with how they're measuring it. They've come out with a better estimate so they can define things a little bit better. So it's not that suddenly the numbers have increased, the overall numbers are actually the same. So you can take confidence in that nothing's actually changed overnight. The things that we do see, though, was that when they break it down to see how many infectious norovirus diseases are coming from which sources, and we found that from this, they were looking at 37% was from eating out in restaurants and 26% were from takeaways. So they seem like quite large numbers. So it's good that they're tracking it, it's good they're monitoring it. And of course, in this country, we do have good food hygiene focused standards.
Do we, though? Because that was one of the things that's borne out in this report, that there were some queries about whether councils are still carrying out as many food standard assessments and whether or not perhaps standards have gone down.
Yeah, so that's a good point. And that's what this study is really good about, because then it highlights the numbers and said, are we doing the things that we thought we were doing, so we can then audit those and check that those things are in place and improve things. From point of view of the general public, the standard advice is always still in place that if you feel like you're sick, you go to your GP, you need to report it. The GP by law has to then report that to the Environment Office. Every council has got their local Environment Office, so you can go to the Environment Office directly and report it yourself. And the little key things to look out for hygiene are the same as always. Wash your hands. If you're feeling in any way unwell, stay away from food processing. If you're preparing your own food, the foods that came out tops, we were actually discussing this earlier, was lettuce.
Yes, because I was asking you what was your favourite takeaway, and you said a lamb kebab, which comes with a salad, and I cautioned you, saying, but it's lettuce. Lettuce is so dangerous.
The open-headed lettuce, and if you think about the sort of the general knowledge of this, is we know that these bacteria and viruses are easily washed away and they're easily killed by heating. So hence, when you've got a lettuce, it's open. You don't generally cook the lettuce, so it's going to be eaten raw. So it's down to good hand hygiene. Has whoever's prepared it, either you at home, have you washed your hands? And secondly, do you then, having washed your hands, wash that lettuce really well so that, because it's open, things could get inside. So these are the things that we're looking about. It's common sense when you get it, but they're the little things that slip past and you could end up not washing it thoroughly, and in it goes into a salad.
And look, this can be incredibly serious. I mean, in most cases, we're talking about, gippy tummy for a couple of days. But last year, we had those deaths from listeria, patients that had eaten sandwiches at a hospital. So we can't be too careful when it comes to
particularly the vulnerable. Anybody that is vulnerable, anybody that's immune system is weak, these are the ones that you're sort of being cautious of. And obviously pregnant people and young children and the elderly, the usual cases, anybody that is in any way going to be vulnerable, they need to take extra care, wash things well, wash your hands before and after going to the bathroom, all the standard food hygiene advice. The other thing about the whole food safety and looking at, you were saying about, are we putting the checks in place in the catering industry? We still have the food hygiene checks that go through all of the suppliers.
So people are looking ahead to the weekend, they want to have their takeaway.
You can look it up on the Food Standards Agency, see when they were last checked and see what their report was, and that's all available online.
OK, Nicole Barbarian-Alabaster, thank you both very much indeed.
You're welcome.
You're watching